finally well, not finally, because you're still, what am I saying? Anyway, the next thing we're going to be reviewing is World Trigger. Now, World Trigger, I really liked this manga so far. It's brought in an interesting concept and sort of breaks up what I've normally seen in anime. But regardless, we get the opening of this chapter, the very end of the last chapter, where Oshima, main protagonists, insert main protagonist name here. He is explaining how the girl is an attractor to a whole bunch of neighbors, and then Yuma, the neighbor, explains that if you have a high enough Tryon, that neighbors will start coming to attack you. And so they take measurements of the Tryon, and we find out that Oshima's isn't really that big, but, it's a pretty good size. No. That is not a what she said joke. Don't. Anyway, we find out that the girl's Tryon level is huge. It filled up from the ground to the bus terminal's roof and really wide. That Tryon level was just huge. And so here brings up a question. Yuma was talking to Oshima, and he was saying that your Tryon level has to be about 3 times bigger than his in order to start attracting neighbors. Now I know that Yuma isn't attracting neighbors. So, how big is Yuma's Tryon level? We know it's bigger than Oshima's because he was able to take a trainee trigger and just own a Tryon soldier with it. Which brings up another question. What would happen if that girl got her hand on a trigger? That would be really insane how overpowered she would be if she could ever master a trigger. She could be taking on neighbors left and right. But regardless, the end of the chapter comes where 2 border agents are finally catch Yuma and Oshima in the act. And we're going to have our real first border agents fight. And so it's not going to be like the previous fight, where it's really been an agent or a person against a neighbor. Now it's going to be 2 agents fighting each other. It's not really 2, it's 4 actually. 2 on each side. So I'm really excited to see how the next chapter is going to handle all this. But I have to say one thing about World Trigger. That little flying pet thing that follows Yuma around. Whenever I'm reading his lines, the voice of Jarvis from the Iron Man movies just pops in my head whenever I'm reading those lines. And it just fits so perfectly. It's like what Jarvis would say, and it's just a perfect fit for that character. So, with that, let's move on into the Dragon Ball Z Chapter 13 full color review. I really don't know what to say about this chapter. It's good, but I felt that the translation in the Weekly Shonen Jump sort of fell off once they reached that point. I don't know what happened, but there were still Japanese letters in the boxes where there should have been words. That just felt like a really sloppy translation for about the first couple of pages. But if you've seen the anime, and I'm pretty sure everyone who's watching this currently has seen the Dragon Ball Z anime, then you practically know what this chapter is. Although I will have to say that I love the quality of the pictures that have been presented in this full-color Dragon Ball Z manga. The quality of the pictures are really spectacular and stunning, while the translation could have been a little bit better. the main reason why you probably looked up a review for this week's Shonen Jump is because of the Mario one-shot. Now, this one-shot has had a development cycle of a ridiculously long time. 15 years. This manga has been written for 15 years. And it shows. It really shows. This is a really good one-shot. I've read it a couple of times. And while it takes a while to get through, it's worth it. It's worth several times reading through. Because it's just a quality one-shot. I mean, 15-year dev cycle. You know something's good is going to come out of that. And it follows Mario, this hitman for the Mafia. And he is good at what he does. You know, he plays around a little bit. He's not like this cold stone killer that you would expect, like the Terminator. He's more of like your average Joe, but when he picks up that gun, when he's gonna go kill, he does it good. He will do you in good. And I probably need to set aside a separate video just to talk about this one shot because it's just so good. Another thing that I really liked right before the one shot was the interview with Kishimoto. That was a nice touch. That really was. So this concludes my review for Weekly Shonen Jump, the May 13th edition of 2013. I did not cover every single manga in the lineup because I haven't caught up with those series. The next series I'm probably going to catch up with, and you might see me starting reviews for in the next week or two, is Ano no Exorcist. Because Ano no Exorcist was on a 3-week break. I thought that Weekly Shonen Jump dropped the series. It was off for so long. But no, it's there. That was a surprise to see it. One thing I'm hoping that you guys are going to do is I hope that you guys will be watching the One Piece English dub on Toonami on May 18th at 1 a.m. in the morning. I think that's Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. If you're looking this up if you're looking up the review, you probably already, if you're looking at this review, you probably already have the Weekly Shonen Jump issue, and it's right after the One Piece chapter. It'll tell you where it is when it's happening. So yeah, this was a great Weekly Shonen Jump issue. It was long. It was a really long issue, and I didn't read all of it, but it definitely was worth the length, and it was worth the wait for that 1 week. So yeah, hope to see you guys for my next week review. Catch you later.